in this video, I will guide you how to structure your letter intent and write it step by step, and also share you some tips. So let's begin. Previously, I have written different letter intent, motivation letter, and also research proposal for my university and scholarship application. So I will share with you guys what I have learned. First, let me focus on the format, especially for the Turkiye Burslari scholarship application. The maximum word limits for the letter intent is 3,000 characters. It is a character, not words, A, B, C, or any character in your native language, such as Kaji, Kakwe for Myanmar. There is no specific format as like letter or essay, so you can write it as a normal essay to save some space. For undergraduate and master applicant, you can write it in any language you prefer, including your native language. You can write it in English or Turkish. Just express it in the language that you feel more comfortable. But for the PhD applicant, you must write in English or Turkish only. Before I continue, let me tell you some do and don't tips. Please know that this scholarship is looking for someone who has both academic and social achievement. So this is not just simply the social or academic, or not just need-based scholarship. First is do. When you write your story or the previous experience, try to make it sound true and very realistic. For example, your dog or your cat died. That's why you want to become a doctor or a vet. So this is not too realistic. You can write it like when you become older, you realize the importance of this field and such thing. You need to develop it very well. No, not just simply give a story that is not realistic. So just try to make it realistic, because the scholarship committee are looking for someone who has also academic and social achievement, as well as who has a good intentions. Second, write your first draft by answering some basic question without actually thinking about finishing the whole essay in one sitting. You can write it in a paper or in your mobile as a bullet form, not the whole essay, just a draft. After completing your first draft in an essay form, revise it many times by searching and thinking about the more answer or new answer to the question that I will give you in this video. Fourth, after that, copy and paste the draft letter into the system, the Bursalri system, 1 week before the deadline, and then save it. But not submit it yet. And then you can revise it as many as you want. And then best make sure to submit it like 3 or 5 days before the end of the deadline, because when the deadline is approaching, the website will become too much busy and you will fail to submit the application. Lastly, do your language check and also the word count check, because you need to fulfill the word limits, the character limit. For the English language, I use Grammarly. You can search on the Google how to use it. And for the word count, just simply use Microsoft Word or just online Google Doc. Now, don't. First, this is very important. Don't start your letter intent with "my name is blah blah blah, I'm studying this." So this information is already in the application, so save your word limits, and then we will use this information in the middle whenever we feel necessary. And second, don't simply copy and paste whatever you have written in the application, like which award you got, what achievement you got. You don't just list out. You need to explain the reason behind this award and everything. Lastly, don't make your letter intent very dramatic and very emotional. Like, I don't have money, that's why I want to get this scholarship and study in Turkey. So avoid using such kind of thing, because this scholarship committee focus on the academic, the previous qualification, the participating in the social activity, and also the career goal. So they focus on all these things. Now let's start writing. So grab your pen and paper to take notes, because I'm gonna tell you so many questions and you need to answer all of these. So we will focus on the 3 main questions. I'm going to break down these 3 questions into many different questions. So I want you to answer all of these right now. Pause the video of each question and then answer it on your notes. If you don't know the answer, you need to search on Google. So for the first paragraph, we will start with, why do you want to study this field? So you need to know your own reason, and this field is not just simply one department. So this can be the combination of similar departments and then make it into one field. Okay, first step, if you don't know the reason why you want to study, please search these two questions on Google, and please keep the answer aside, and we will use this answer later on. Okay, now we will go back to the first paragraph. The very first 2 or 3 lines of the first paragraph will be your story. So you will tell the story that lead you to study this course. I asked you to search the course and skill related to this field, right? So think about the life lesson or regret or the problem because you didn't study or you didn't have this skill in your life. Because of all these reasons, you want to study, you want to gain this skill. That's why you are planning to study this field. Okay, this is the example I wrote. Now let's write the second part of this first paragraph. Let me ask you this question. Do you have academic or work experience that is related to this course and this skill that you just look for related to your field? If yes, you need to give specific examples and then explain how good you are in this course and skill. For example, you can talk about the academic class that you took during your high school, or extra class after high school, club activity, and also some competition or some event that you participated, or volunteer activity or hobby. It can be, or it can be part-time job. Okay, when explaining your experience, try to include these 3 points. The first one is I joined this program, and second, in that program what skill I gained, and then explain how good you have become in this skill after taking or after joining this activity. You can explain these 3 points in each experience that you have. You can have more than one experience. Then if you don't have experience, because your previous background and your target major, this field is different, but it cannot be totally different. It should be a little bit close. Then in this case, you can just write down what you have been doing or what you try to do to get interest in this field. Like you are taking online courses or you are doing your own self-study, reading book about this field, that even though you didn't participate. Okay. So as a final sentence in your first paragraph, you need to write the importance of this field in your country. So this is the first question I asked you to find, and you can write it like, I believe that this field is important in my country because, then you say like that. Now second paragraph. Okay, I will give you several questions for that. So I will give you in order, and you need to give the answer of these questions in order and write down all of them in one by one, and it will become one paragraph. Okay, search for these questions on Google. First is, how good is studying your field in Turkey, and how good the education system is in Turkey. Second, what are the opportunities you can get if you study your field in Turkey, academically or in for your future job. For example, you can talk about the research collaboration or the joint program or any internship program. And these are the examples that I wrote. That what kind of facility the university provide for the student education, especially in your field. You go to their website and then see like what facility they can give you, and it must be especially for your field. Another one is what kind of extra activity you can participate if you study in Turkey. So in Turkey they have like a Erasmus exchange program, so you can go and study for like 3 months or 6 months in another European country. Also some university provide internship program in company or in other university. And how can you extend your network? Okay, so you might need a new people from all over the world, so you will extend your network. After your graduation, you will have many connections because of these things you want to study in Turkey. And lastly, talk about the Turkish culture. You should explain which Turkish culture is interesting, especially for your field, because of the architecture and the history. Turkey is rich in history, so it can help you in your study if you study history and architecture, this kind of thing. If you don't have any information related to your field, you can talk about how you have become interested in Turkey and Turkish culture. And if you have to choose one reason you want to study or you want to visit Turkey, what could it be? So you think about that carefully. Okay, our last paragraph will be your future plan and the importance of this scholarship to you. For the future plan, I want you to search these two things on Google. What specific job can you get after you finish your study? Do you need to continue further study like postgraduate, master, PhD to get a good job in your field? And then write the short-term goal in the first part of the last paragraph. So short-term goal will be what you will do right after your graduation. You will continue study or you will start working. So you can even work in Turkey or you can go back to your country and work. So if you want to work in Turkey, that you will live forever in Turkey. Don't talk about like that. You will say like you will work in Turkey for some time to gain some experience and connection. So these are the example I wrote. The second part will be the long-term goal. So you will include two important points. First is how can you help your community with your degree? After you gain experience in Turkey, you will go back to your country and then work and contribute how you will utilize your degree. So this goes back to the first paragraph, summarize that importance of your field in your country, and then you will do this. Second point is how will you share or how will you use your knowledge and experience? So this is not just simply your degree, okay? You also gain some life experience and the connection or knowledge about Turkey. So how you will utilize it to also help your community again. You have to write something that show you that you will become a bridge between your country and the Turkey after graduation. After that, the last part or the conclusion will be you need to explain the importance of this scholarship to you and to your future plan. Answer these two questions. Okay, how will you continue your life or what will happen to you if you don't get this scholarship? Don't make it very miserable life if you don't get scholarship. You still need to write like you will try hard and you will still strive for your goal even if you don't get this scholarship, but you will have difficulty. Second one is explain how it can help you if you get this scholarship. Explain how study in Turkey become an opportunity and the next step toward your final goal. So write down one big change that can happen to you if you get this scholarship. How your dream will achieve fully 100% if you get this scholarship. And the last sentence, write thank you conclusion. Okay, thank you for giving you opportunity to apply for this scholarship. I hope you all can get this scholarship and all the best in your application. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.